chair yoga, fun new things to do at home. As I said, if you weren't in the meeting yet, no big deal. Grab a chair. Any kind of chair will work. We're using old kitchen chairs because all of our other chairs are really high. My feet don't touch the ground, so preferably a chair that your feet touch the ground on. And then if you have a yoga strap, this guy, please feel free to grab it. And again, if you don't have a yoga strap, kitchen towel, long t-shirt, anything that you can kind of pull and move around a little bit. So as most of us know, chair yoga is just like a normal yoga class. It's going to be about deep stretching, connecting our breath and our body, and making sure that at the end of this, we feel, if nothing else, a little bit calmer. Because there's so much happening in the world right now. We have zero control over any of it, and that is perfectly okay. So taking these next 45 minutes for yourself, listening to your body. If something doesn't feel quite right, maybe you just leave that alone today. And if something feels really good, I'll give you a couple of options to move a little bit more deeply into our stretches. So we will go ahead and begin. And finding that seated position, you guys, I like to start class with my feet on the ground because I feel like I sit up a little bit taller through my spine rather than sitting and hunching back here. So planting those feet, lifting up through the spine. Go ahead and take 2 big shoulder rolls to the back. Open up that chest and then really let those shoulders just fall down away from the ears. Hands can be next to you, they can be resting on your legs, whatever feels best. And I encourage you to go ahead and close your eyes. I know sometimes inviting the closed eyes seems a little bit scary at first. If we can really take this time to forget everything that's happening around us, literally in the world or in our house, and taking this time to focus our energy internally. Beginning to bring the attention to the physical body. Planting the feet heavy on the ground. Maybe you wiggle the toes or kind of roll your ankles in and out. Really feeling your feet today. I believe that our feet simply don't get enough attention. Continuing to move up the leg. Feeling where the knees are they resting together or slightly apart. No need to change anything, simply bringing our attention to what our body does naturally. Feeling our sits bones, the bony parts of our butt resting on the chair. Maybe wiggle side to side, feeling if they're really there or not. And allowing both your seat and your feet to be heavy. So really feel like you're grounded in your energy and in your body here. Traveling up the body, feeling the length in your spine. Allowing the shoulders to remain soft away from the ears. Feeling as if there was length through the top of your head all the way up to the sky. As if we could be grounded through our feet and our seat and lifted up to the clouds through the top of our head. noticing where your arms are. Are your hands resting next to your legs or resting on them? Again, no need to change, just becoming aware. Soften the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Releasing the muscles in your face and in your jaw. And even though we might feel activity in our body, you're sitting up tall in the spine. I want you to imagine that you can be as restful as possible in this shape. I invite you to keep your eyes closed and start to shift your awareness over to your breath. Noticing today, are you breathing through your nose or your mouth or maybe both? Is your breath fast up in your chest, or is it nice and deep into the pit of your belly? Gently closing your lips, see if you can begin to shift that breath in and out through the nose. I often find that it's hard to keep our attention on our breath. So for this, I offer you a tool. Imagining that that breath is pulling in through the belly button and picking a color, something light and bright that fills you up. As that breath travels in deep into the belly, you can feel the side and back ribs expanding. Exhaling through the nose, same color of breath. Again, inhaling, drawing it in through the belly, the side and back ribs, up to the collarbones. Exhaling through the nose, releasing all of that air. So continuing to imagine that this breath is moving in a circle, in and up, out, down and around. Allowing the breath to move through the nose, slow and steady, long and deep. When you're ready, gently blinking your eyes open. And if you haven't yet, bringing your hands to the tops of your thighs or your knees. We'll take a nice deep inhale, breath lengthen in the spine. Exhale, I want you to curl the chin to the chest and round the shoulders forward. So we'll take a seated cat and cow. Inhale, pressing the hands to the thighs, lift the chin and the chest up, allowing the shoulders to soften down away from you. Exhale, find that curl and really use those hands on your legs grounded in the spine. Inhale, lift it up, push the hands into the legs, shoulders down the back. And again, exhale, curl. Inhale and lift, push it up. Continuing to move through these cat and cows. Allowing your breath to move your body. As we start to open up the spine, letting things get a little bit loose back there. So it's an inhale to curl. Sorry, an exhale to curl, and inhale to lift. Everybody finding their next inhale breath, sitting up tall again. This time I want you to take a deep breath in. Exhale, curl the head and tail. Inhale, shift the weight over towards the right side. Keeping that curl of head to tail, shift it back through center. and take it over to the left. So our sits bones will stay on the chair. We're finding a little bit of a side-to-side flow. One side, back through center, keeping that roundness as we shift to the left. Adding on from here, keeping that curl. Shift the weight over towards the right side. Inhale, lift up through center. Sits bones might start to come off the chair a little bit as you reach forward. Exhale, we're going to take that same curl over to the left. Rounding back through center. Shift it over to the right. Inhale, lift the chin, the chest. Exhale, curl and round over to the left. So we're making a big circle with the body. Shifting it to the right. Inhale, lift it up through center. Good, you guys. Exhale, curl and round to the left. We'll do one more on this side. Shifting it to the right. Inhale, lifting up. Feel free to push into those legs too to get that extra lift. As we exhale, round back through center. Switching directions. Over to the left, keep the curl. Inhale, lift the chin, the chest. Exhale, curl and round to the right. And again, shifting the weight to the left. Inhale, lift the chin, the chest. Beautiful, everyone. Exhale, curl to the right. We'll take two more on this side. Lift it up. Inhale. Exhale, find that curl, that round. You guys look amazing. One more time, and even if I can't see you, I know you look amazing. Curling and rounding. Coming back through center and sitting up nice and tall. So oftentimes when we sit in chairs for a long period of time, we're going to find that our low back, our hips, things just start to get tense as we stay in this position. Yes, so at any point you feel like something doesn't feel good, feel free to move through it. Find that roundness, those rolls. So again, making sure we're sitting up tall, feet on the ground. I'm a short person, so I have to keep shifting my weight forward. On an inhale breath, reach the hands up high. Grabbing onto your left wrist. Exhale, we'll side bend over to the right side. And if you don't quite have that mobility to get the arms up above your head, that's okay. We can always just take that side bend without the arms. So wherever you are, I want you to imagine you can reach that left arm even further away from you. Keeping that left hip on the chair. So we're making space in that left side body. Inhale, grow back through center. Grabbing the right wrist this time. Exhale, side bend over to the left. Keeping that right hip anchored. Reaching. If you're holding on to that wrist, you can physically pull your arm further. Or maybe you're taking that side bend a little bit differently today. Lots of ways we can do it, right? Feeling that breath moving in and out of the nose. Inhale, reach it back through center. We'll do one more each side. Exhale, side bend over to the right. However you need to. Maybe that hand comes down to the chair. Maybe it felt good to grab that wrist. Feeling that breath, I want you to imagine that you can create space in every single rib on that left side. Inhale, reach it back through center. Exhale, take it over to the left last time. Heavy the head towards that left shoulder. Really reach that right arm away. Beautiful, you guys. Inhale it back through center. And go ahead and bring those arms down by your side. Feel to, always if you need to, roll those shoulders out. Roll those shoulders forward. Wherever you might need to make sure that body still feels ooey and gooey and warm here, right? On your next inhale breath, I want you to take your weight onto your left leg. So keeping those sits bones heavy, I want you to lift that right knee up. For some of us, this might be okay. For some of us, it might feel like a lot of work in our core and our leg. And then exhale, put that foot back on the ground. Shifting your weight over towards the right side, lifting that left knee up this time. And we might feel okay here. That's great. Stepping that left foot down. Now this time I challenge you as we do it to keep that weight lifted up. So oftentimes we're going to want to sink back here. See if you can keep that lift. Pressing that left foot to the ground, lift that right foot up. So we Maintain that length, that strength in our core. And then stepping that right foot down. Lifting that left leg up. Good, you guys. Really nice. And stepping that left foot down. Moving on. If that was enough for you, you can do exactly that again. However, the next option will take us back, so hopefully your chair has a back. If not, just be careful. We'll press that left foot to the ground and lift that right knee all of the way up. So as you do so, maybe you hold that knee, or maybe you grab your handy dandy strap and wrap it around the front of that knee so that you can hold it in without feeling like you're reaching too far for it. Now from here, I want you to exhale, drop the chin to the chest and roll it on back. So you might find that that hugs that right knee in a little bit closer. You should feel a little bit of a release in the front of that right hip flexor. And remember, lots of modifications. Maybe we're still upright, maybe we use a strap. I want you to go ahead, stay here, round the chin into the chest a little bit further, and then go ahead and roll those ankles. Roll them out. Roll that right ankle in. And then using that connection of hands to knee or strap, inhale, lift it up so we're sitting back up tall and pressing that right foot back to the ground. So before we go anywhere, I want you to feel, how does one side feel compared to the other? For me, that right hip feels like it's a little bit more open because of that stretch. And maybe you don't feel anything differently yet, that's okay. Moving on to the other side, feel free to take that strap around the left knee or go ahead and lift it up. Exhale, curl the chin to the chest, round it on back. So I'm completely leaning against the back of my chair here to keep that nice roundness, softening in the front of that left hip. And then rolling the ankle out. And rolling the ankle in. Using that leverage of the strap or hands on knee. Inhale, lift it up. And go ahead and step that left foot back down. So far, so good. We're going to do a couple more exercises in our chair, then I'm actually going to have you stand up. If standing up is not an option today, I will always show you ways that we can modify seated. So, first step for this next one is to extend that right leg straight out in front of you. And then I want you to, hands on the chair, sitting up tall. Inhale, lengthen. Keep that length as we exhale, hinge our hips forward over the chair. So we're going to try to keep that straight spine as much as we can. Pulling those right toes up to the sky. So I've got a straight right leg, straight spine. Hopefully we start to feel this stretch in the back of that right leg. I keep my hands on my chair here just because I feel like I'm going to slide off of it. But if you feel comfortable, your hands can always come towards the tops of your thighs. Keeping that right leg straight. Feel that length. Remember, we're reaching through the top of our head, pressing through our sits bones. Exhale, drop the chin to the chest and see if you can round over that right leg. And maybe you don't get very far. Maybe it's just the dropping of the chin. That's okay. Maybe you want to reach your right hand towards that right foot, or again, option for that handy dandy strap, right? Pulling that strap in and literally forcing that torso a little bit closer towards the top of that right leg. So you've got a nice deep hamstring stretch, roundness in the spine. Staying here for a few more breaths, deep in and out through the nose. Take your time, roll it on up. Maybe you keep that strap handy for this next one, maybe not. Our first step is to cross that right ankle over our left. As we do so, opening up that right hip away from us. And if you feel like this is okay, we can stay here. The next option is to bring that right ankle on top of that left knee. And if it's too much, we keep the ankles crossed. But wherever we are, I want you to bring that right hand on top of that right thigh and push that knee towards the ground. So now we just stretched the back of our legs, our hamstrings. Now we should get that nice deep stretch into the outside of that right hip. Which again, we know if we're sitting down for a long time, those hips get tight. Good. You see if you can push that knee just a little bit further. And then exhale, release that right leg down. free to wiggle those toes, wiggle those ankles, bounce those legs around. And we'll take those same exercises on the left side. So we're beginning by straightening out that left leg. So as you straighten that left leg, see if you can push that energy, sorry you guys, through the bottom of your left foot. So it's as if your left foot was against a wall. And then from here, hands on the chair, hands on the legs, inhale, lengthen the spine, keep that length as you hinge it over that straight left leg. So spine is still straight here. Sits bones hopefully still anchored to that chair. If they're not, I imagine you're falling off of it, so hopefully we're still sitting down. Keeping that length. And then exhale, drop the chin to the chest, round over that left leg. And again, maybe we grab our handy dandy strap or towel or t-shirt. Maybe you're ready to bring that left hand all the way to those left toes. Taking one more deep inhale breath. Exhale, roll it on up. Good job, you guys. And pressing that left foot back to the ground. Again, first option is to cross that left ankle over the right. And then push that knee away here. If you're ready, you can always hoist that left ankle up over the knee. And then from there, using that leverage. So really push that knee down. And if you're like, I don't feel anything, just know that we're all jealous. So we should feel that stretch into the outside of that left hip, nice and strong. Good, you guys. Take one more deep inhale. Exhale, push that knee a little bit closer. And then go ahead and release it. So before we stand up, I want you to wiggle those legs out, shake those knees in and out. Whatever you need to do. Pressing both feet to the ground, I want you to inhale, lift the toes up. I don't know if you guys can see my feet. I feel like you can't. So lifting those toes up, and then exhale, pressing the toes back down. Inhale, lift the heels up. So we're pressing to the balls of our feet. Exhale, lower the heels. Inhale, lift the toes. Good, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the heels. Beautiful, everybody. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, lift the toes. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the heels. Good, exhale and lower. So taking our time, you guys, we are going to stand up, keeping that chair handy. It does not go far. So when you're ready, standing up. And if you're not ready to stand up, I will give you lots of modifications to do seated. Just for the purpose of the video, I want you guys to be able to see me. So I'm going to spin my chair so that it's on the side. That way I feel like you can still see me and see the exercises that we're doing. So you can either stand with both hands on the back of your chair or one hand. So we're going to do a little bit of standing yoga practice and balancing. Keeping in mind that this is here to help you, right? So bringing one or both hands to the chair, completely your choice. Shifting your weight over towards that left leg. I want you to lift that right heel up just like we did when we were seating, except just the right leg. Now notice as we did that, did we shift our weight over towards the left side? Can we still lengthen up? Option from here to lift that right knee. Maybe you're like, she's crazy, there's no way I'm getting my knee up. That's okay, stay with that heel lifted. Remember, the chair is here to help you. From here, I want you to step that right foot back behind you and then drive that heel to the ground. So as we do so, we might get a nice stretch in the back of that right leg. We're going to take a slight bend in that left knee here. If you feel okay, you can bring one or both hands up. Maybe they just float up off of the chair to start. Maybe you're like, this is a lot of balance, and you keep one hand on. Wherever we are, we're going to call this pose Warrior One. So one hand, two hand, no hands. Keeping that length in the spine. Can you deepen the bend in that left knee? Keeping that right heel pressing to the ground back behind you. Bringing both hands back. finding that balance. So oftentimes we start on one foot, we're a little bit wibbly wobbly. So maintaining that length, keeping that breath, and we'll lift that left knee up. Maybe, maybe not, that's okay. First step here, I want you to play around with a little bit of balance. And wherever you are, we're going to step that left leg back behind us this time. Pressing that left heel into the ground. So again, we're going to get that nice big stretch up the back of that left leg. Keeping that right knee slightly bent to the front knee. Keeping that left heel pressing, maybe one hand, maybe two. So really what we're doing is a variation of a lunge with that back heel down. If your hands are still on the chair, push into the chair and lift up in the chest. If those hands are reaching up, reach the fingertips, press the feet to the ground. So just like we started, we're both grounded and lifted. Taking one more deep inhale. Exhale, stepping that left foot in. And again, we can shake those legs out a little bit, move around. Moving on to another balance. And then we'll do some stretches standing. And if we're not standing, which I totally lied to you guys. I said that we would do things modified in the chair, and here I am lying. So we're going to start the exact same way. Go ahead, shift your weight over towards your right foot and lift that right heel up. Perfect. Then I want you to spin that right knee out to the side and press the bottom of that right foot into the left leg. So if we're still seated here, that's okay. If we're standing, see how good my balance is today. It'll look something like this. And then once again, if you're ready, maybe you lift that foot up off of the ground. Some part of the bottom of your right foot should be pressing that left leg, whether it's your heel or the whole foot. So we call this tree pose, which most of you've probably seen at some point. I want to challenge you to lift one hand off of your chair first. Good, you guys. If you've got both hands on the back of your chair, go ahead, switch hands. Now remember, we're pressing that left foot down. Can you reach one or both hands off of the chair? And maybe they reach up, maybe they come here, maybe they're floating just off the chair just in case. Could you guys take a deep breath? Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, step that right foot down. How is that left leg? I'm feeling that. Let's go ahead and make sure the right leg feels just as good as the left. So we're shifting our weight over towards that right foot, lifting that left heel up to begin. And then spinning that left knee out to the side. Remember, left heel can come in, or we can lift that leg up and feel like we're being a little bit crazy today. Snowed today, the day is already crazy, right? So wherever we are, planting some part of our foot to the inside of that right leg. We're going to begin with one hand off of the chair. So notice as you take that fingertip off, are you super wobbly? Can you keep pressing down in that right foot? Bring that hand back down and switch those hands out. And if you're feeling it, maybe we can float both fingertips just off of the chair. Good, you guys, keeping that length. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. One more, take a deep breath in. Exhale, step that foot down. Good job, you guys. Shake those legs out a little bit. So this time I'm going to ask that we bring both hands to the back of the chair. Stepping your feet further back, and then I want you to step them wider than your chair. So if your chair is a little bit narrow, we're going to step those feet pretty wide. Same thing that we did, and same thing you can do if you're still sitting down. So feet will just be wide, hands will be resting in front of you. I want you to exhale and send the hips back behind you, keeping that spine straight. I'm sure most of you know this, but I'm pregnant, so my spine is never straight. I want you to aim for that straight spine. Again, feeling that those sit bones are reaching back. Head is reaching forward. Maybe this feels okay, and you're ready to walk those hands down the chair a little bit, or if you're sitting down, bringing them down to your knees, your shins even. Maybe you're feeling crazy and you walk those hands a little bit further. Remember, the chair is here to support you, so using it however you need. If it feels okay, those hands can come down to the ground. With a wider legged fold, we're usually able to get a little bit further than if our legs were close together. So remember, we want to keep that length in the spine as much as possible. And then taking your time, walking those hands back up, slow, 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 nice and steady. If you are sitting down, you're going to do those same seated cat and cows that we did before. If you're standing up, I'm going to encourage you to keep both hands on the back of your chair. Wherever we are, taking a nice deep inhale breath. Exhale, curl the head and tail together, so we're rounding in that spine again. So we're just moving through that cat and cow. Inhale, lifting up, pushing the hands to the chair. You might even find if you're standing, you can arch your back a little bit here too. Exhale, curl and round. Inhale, lift. Last time, exhale, curl and round. Inhale, lift it up. And standing up super tall, you guys. If you've turned your chair, go ahead and turn it back to face the front. We're going to come sit back down, shake anything out that you may need, and you will want your strap for these next few exercises, unless you have amazing flexibility in your shoulders, and again, which case, I'm just very jealous. So keeping that strap handy, you guys. Again, finding those sits bones on the chair, feet on the ground. I want you to bring your hands to whatever kind of strap or towel you have and reach them straight out in front of you. I'd like to show you what this looks like. So we'll be moving through some shoulder mobility. So pulling that strap super, super tight. And if your strap is like mine, if you have an actual yoga strap, it probably doesn't have a lot of give. That's okay. So pull it as tight as you can. And notice when you do that, the muscles at the back of your shoulder blades and just underneath your armpits should activate. So we're pulling everything back. Arms are about shoulder distance apart, maybe a little bit wider. That's okay. So I want you to push the strap away and almost feel like you're rounding in that upper back. As you inhale, sucking the shoulder blades back together. Exhale, push the strap away. Keep the head up so eyes are focused forward. Inhale, pull the shoulders back in. Exhale, push the strap away. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades back in. So it's almost like a baby cat and cow, but only through our upper back here. One more time, keep that tension, push away. And then inhale, lift it up. Good, you guys. So now I'm going to ask that you move your hands a little bit wider. This is the one that if you've got great shoulder mobility, you might be okay with your hands a little bit closer. But I'm going to take my hands nice and wide, and I'm going to release that strap, holding onto it, down by my side. So as I do so, allowing the shoulders to press away from my ears, my head and my neck are free. On an inhale breath, I want you to reach those hands up all the way to the sky. Now, if our shoulders are really tense, you guys, and you only get here today, that's okay. Keeping that tension on the strap, exhale, lower them right back down. So I want you to feel like you could rip that strap apart with a towel. If you're using a t-shirt, please don't rip it. Again, inhale, lift those arms up. Good, exhale, lower them back down. This time I want you to inhale, lift those arms up as high as you can, and then see if you can slide them back behind you. You can see my shoulders are kind of stuck, but maybe you can get them back here. Maybe you're crazy mobile if you get them all the way down. I can't do that yet. And then exhale, lower them back down. Again, inhale, lift them up. And then exhale, push that strap back. If it's back to the wall behind you, I just want you to imagine those shoulder blades squeezing together, opening up through that chest. My arms are shaking. Exhale, lower it back down. We'll do that one more time, you guys. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, press it back a little bit. Open up that chest. Beautiful, everyone. And exhale, lower it down. Releasing that strap. So hopefully tops of our shoulders in the back and the front of that chest is like feeling a little bit of something. So for most of us, especially, I call it tech snack, the kids these days that are all here, we're in this rounded position. Whether we're working at our computer or we're just sitting and watching TV, this becomes the comfortable place to be. So we forget that we need to open up our shoulders and chest to keep that mobility. So I want everybody to open up their arms to a T. We will begin by reaching that right arm forward. Left arm will come on top of your right. From here, I want you to bend your elbows and hands can flop to the side. Maybe they come towards each other. So wherever you are, I want you to really feel that cross in the elbows. That's the work of this pose. From here, taking a big shoulder roll back, and then seeing if you can lift those arms up a little bit higher. So elbows are lifted, but shoulders are pressed down. Again, broadening through the back of that chest. Opening up the arms back to a T, and release it down. Taking a few shoulder rolls here, noticing how maybe one side feels a little bit differently. Because we did have one arm on top and one arm underneath, we do have to do it on the other side. So inhale, reach those arms out to a T. Exhale, bringing that left arm this time, and then right arm on top, bending at the elbows. And you might find on this side you have different mobility. So a lot of times when we're right-handed, our right side is tighter just because it gets used more frequently. So again, wherever you are, rolling those shoulders back, lifting the elbows up if you can. Taking a few nice deep breaths here. And gently releasing those arms and softening them down. Good job, you guys. So now I will allow you, I'm going to let you do this, to sit back in your chair a little bit. And if you'd like to use the back of your chair to help you feel supported, feel free. Again, I'm short, so my feet won't touch the ground when I do that. So I'm going to stay sitting up a little bit taller. Keeping the shoulders soft away from the ears. Go ahead and drop your chin to your chest. And then take your right ear over towards your right shoulder. Bring that right hand to the left side of your face. Pull that ear a little bit further, kind of like those side bends that we did in the beginning, feeling that stretching out really in the left side of that neck. Releasing that left hand, drop the chin back to the chest, roll it forward. And then take that left ear to your left shoulder. This time right hand comes up, no. Left ear, left shoulder, yes. Left hand comes up. I can do this, I swear. I'm nearing you guys, so my left and right is all confused. And then using that hand, leverage it. Open up the right side of that neck a little bit further. Good, you guys release that hand, drop that chin back through the chest. Bring those hands back to the chair somewhere. So whether they're on the seat or the back of that chair, I want you to hold on, roll the shoulders back, lift the chin, lift the chest. Head up high to the sky as if that sternum can reach up. And then take your time, come all the way back through center. One last stretch before we get our Shavasana, or rest at the end of our class. I want you to drop your chin to your chest. Slowly start to walk those hands down the legs. Maybe they get all the way down. Maybe they stop and you have elbows on knees. I want you to keep the chin rounded towards the chest, top of the head, heavy towards the ground. Feeling that stretch in the spine, maybe in the backs of the legs. And then slowly walking those hands back up. And back into that nice seated shape. Rolling out the legs, rolling out the shoulders. Go ahead, bring your right hand to the back of your chair somewhere. Left hand over towards that right leg. On a big exhale breath, twisting over to the right side. If you can, look all the way behind you, over that right shoulder. And then coming back through center, release that twist. This time bringing the left hand to the back of your chair somewhere. Right hand over towards that left leg. Exhale, taking that big twist over to the left side. And coming back through center. Sitting comfortably in your chair. Whether that's sitting up for you or maybe that means leaning back a little bit. Maybe you cross your ankles. Taking a deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, exhale. Allow the body to soften against the chair. Allow the eyes to softly close. Eyelids heavy. Very similar to how we started. Except this time, at the end of our practice, I don't want you to think about anything. So we're not thinking about our physical body. We're not focusing on our breath. And I want you to become aware of what happens when we slow down. When we give ourselves permission just to sit and be. If you find that thoughts are drifting into your mind, I'm hungry, I think lunch sounds good, or what do I have to do after this? Simply notice those thoughts. And see if you can bring your attention back to the back of your eyelids. Taking these last few moments of our practice simply to be. Keep your eyes closed. If you start to let some movement into the body, wiggling the fingers, the wrists, toes, and the ankles. Take a deep breath in, reach the hands up high. Exhale, bring your hands together to heart center. Our practice today, I encourage you to find gratitude. One thing in your life, in your day that you feel grateful for today. Closing our practice with an attitude of gratitude. With love.